Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? Joey Chickenbuck is back here with another video for you guys, and in this video, we're here to talk about the game that wrapped up several hours ago between the Broncos and the Ravens. So, I know I usually do it earlier, sooner after the game. I decided to wait a little while this time because the stakes and, like, the significance of this game, and, like, the standings in the division had a big impact on what happened, or I should say, would have been impacted significantly based off of what happened in the late game, like the Chiefs-Bengals game. So I figured I would wait until after that game finished to do this recap because I kind of know more, and also because it was a really tough day for the Ravens injury-wise. So I wanted to wait until we got at least first updates about those guys, so I'd have a better idea about what's to come. So anyways, first things first, I've been saying this for a while. The phrase still remains and the point still remains. A win is a win, okay? A win is a win. Not going to complain one way or another. A win is a win. That's a big win. It was really looking like we were going to lose like 9-3, which would have just been pathetically embarrassing. But we were, especially at home. But no, we were able to score with like 30-something seconds to spare, and we got the win. We squeezed it out. What can I say? All right, so obviously there's no way we can like look at this game and be like, oh my god, we're playing so well, we're amazing. No, there are a lot of issues with this team right now, big time. But what's the biggest issue? I don't think it's even debatable. Injuries, man. We just cannot stay healthy. Every single game, we lose people. Like, and fittingly, the one game, the last game against the Jaguars, I think that was like the one game this year, that we actually got out of the game healthy. I don't think anyone got hurt that game, yet we happened to lose the game. Go figure. But today, man, we won the game. Great. 4 injuries. 4. Now, good news, though, for the injury results. So the 4 guys that went down, Lamar Jackson, more on him in a second. Patrick Queen, Kyle Hamilton, Isaiah Likely. The good news, and pretty much all good news, I think, besides the fact that I got injured. That's bad news. But when it comes to the reports on their injuries, Likely and Hamilton returned to the game. So they got back in there. Apparently, Likely had like a stinger. Hamilton, I don't even know. We didn't get a status on him. But it's because he came back in the game. So there was no need to report a status. So they both, Likely and Hamilton, came back. So they should be fine. But Jackson and Queen went down with a thigh injury, and he had to get carted off. It really looked kind of nasty, but early reports are actually indicating that it was just like a thigh bruise, and he should not be out very long. So that is a big sigh of relief. Patrick Queen, yeah, he may have gotten off to a rough start, but he has really solidified himself well. He's been a great compliment to Roquan Smith. I guess you could say Smith has been a great compliment to Patrick Queen, because I guess Smith came later, but they complement each other very well. We'll put it that way. They work really well together. They're a dynamic linebacker duo, and they both of them were balling today. And Roquan Smith continued to ball, and then Queen was doing really well up until he got hurt. But it sounds like Queen should be fine. I mean, he might miss a game or two, but it's nothing significant or season-ending for now. There's a chance that the MRI could come back differently, but for now, X-rays were negative, so that's a good sign. Same with Lamar Jackson. It was a little bit of a less conclusive report. It wasn't knee injury, so of course, knee, your first worry is, ACL, but we don't really know yet. But if it was a serious injury, we probably would have known by now. The question is it going to be like just a 1 or 2 weeker, or will it be a few weeks? But we do know it's not season ending, so that's good for Lamar Jackson. And of course, we need Lamar Jackson. Now, I just want to clear the air here. Let me just say, I love Tyler Huntley. I like him as a person. I think he's got a great personality. I love that, he and Lamar Jackson are really good friends. I think he is a great backup. I think he's a really good teammate and everything. But he is not a guy who's going to carry us to win. And I know I say that after he did lead a game-winning drive. I will give him credit where it's due. That was a long, long drive that he led, and we did end up scoring a touchdown in the red zone, and we won the game. So I will give him that. However, besides that one drive, like, our offense was bad. Now, to be fair, it was not playing well when Lamar Jackson was in either, but it still just was bad all around. The amount of chances our defense gave us, like, if we somehow lost this game, that just would have been the most embarrassing thing ever. Because literally, it was rinse, wash, and repeat. Broncos got the ball, they had to punt, we got the ball. We had to punt, the Broncos had to punt. We had to punt, the Broncos had to punt. It was just back and forth, punt, 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 punt. The battle of punts. Both offenses just pathetic today. I mean, the Broncos, their offense clearly hasn't figured anything out, because they were just equally as bad today. Their offense is horrible. They just can't do anything. Russell Wilson, I mean, he didn't turn the ball over today, so I guess I'll give him that, but he is just not himself this year by any means. So, I mean, defensively, I got to give us credit. Our defense had a great rebound after last week's collapse. Granted, we were playing, I mean, the Jaguars' offense is much better than the Broncos, but we did a nice job keeping their running game in check, and the receivers didn't do much either. And again, we kept Wilson in check, so I'm all thumbs up there. What really made me happy was our linebackers, especially Roquan Smith, who actually had a rough game last week, bounced back very well today. He was all over the field, making tackles left and right. So I was really happy with what I saw from Roquan Smith today. I think he bounced back really well, and the prayers are up to Patrick Queen and Lamar Jackson, but good signs there. And, if Queen and or Jackson are out next week, they're going to be big losses, but hopefully they can get back in there soon. And again, we'll find out this week. Harbaugh said we'll probably find out tomorrow more specifics, and we'll just see what happens. And then, of course, so as I said, I wanted to wait to make this recap until after the Bengals-Chiefs game because that has a big impact on where we're at now. And we did not get if you're a Ravens fan, we did not get the result we wanted out of that game. The Bengals won, so they're now 8-4. So we still are in first place because we had the tiebreaker over Cincinnati. But had the Bengals lost, we would have been a full game over, and that also would have given us leeway for us to lose to Pittsburgh next week. You guys know our history with Pittsburgh, man. They've beaten us 4 or 5 times in a row. Really have been giving us a hard time, especially Lamar Jackson. So, if we were to lose next week, even if the Bengals won to, we still would have stayed in first place. Now we have to win next week to stay in first. Well, we have to win. If Cincinnati is going to win, we have to win. So I guess if we both lose, we still remain. But regardless, we really want to win next week against Pittsburgh. I mean, we would want to win regardless. But if we lost last week, it would not be the end of the world. But now that the Bengals have won and now we're tied, so I mean, it's not the end of the world if we lose next week, anyways. But it still would hurt because if the Bengals win, they're in first place. So. And the bigger concern, I think, for us as Ravens fans is the Bengals are getting hot right now. They got off to a rough start, but they are hot, like red hot. I guess there's still several weeks left in the season. Maybe they're peaking a bit too early, but I'm skeptical. I think the Bengals are really finding their identity and that they're going to be a big problem going forward. Anyways, back to the Ravens. So again, defensively, all thumbs up. We played our hearts out. We kept our team in the game. We pretty much carried us to the victory. I know our offense did score the final touchdown, but our defense pretty much carried us today. Stop after stop. I don't think we forced any turnovers, which was kind of interesting, but we forced a lot of punts. Our tackling was good. All thumbs up there. And then, offensively, a lot of issues. The run game, it got off to a rough start in the season. Then it was kind of rolling for several weeks, and then it's kind of been pretty quiet the past few weeks. It wasn't very good last week. It was not very good this week. Granted, the Broncos' run defense is good, so I will give them credit. But I definitely would like to see us get the run game going more, especially because our pass game is not it this year, as it very rarely is. We just cannot seem to we don't throw the ball well. Our receivers are not good, and besides Andrews, we just don't have any true weapons. So I really would like to see us get the run game going more. I think that's very important. So hopefully we can do that. But yeah, Edwards, Drake, we got to get more production out of them for sure. This is the second straight week where they've both been pretty quiet. I also think we didn't feed them enough. Drake and Edwards, I think Edwards had 6 carries. Drake probably had 2 or 3. It's not enough. We need to feed them more for sure. I understand the run game wasn't really working, but generally, the more you run it later in the game, the more the defensive line wears down, and eventually you'll break away some of those bigger runs. So I would have wanted to see us stick to it more. But Tyler Huntley, again, I like him, but don't get any crazy ideas saying, oh, we should keep him starting over Lamar Jackson even when Lamar Jackson gets healthy. That's crazy talk. Lamar Jackson, this offense, it's the team in general is not remotely the same without him. We need Lamar Jackson. Again, don't get it twisted. Excuse me. I don't think that's an issue. I think Jackson will definitely go back to the starting job once he gets healthy again. But our defense gave us so many chances, man, and we still just couldn't cash in. Finally, the last drive, we cashed in when we had to, and we finally got the touchdown to get the win. And then, of course, it's funny because after we got that touchdown, I was like, did we score too early? I was really worried that we did, honestly. I really was, and my first thought was, I don't trust this defense. I as good as the defense has played in this game, I do not trust the defense to hold them here. In short time situations where we need to keep them out of field goal range, we have been really bad in the past, and I was worried that was going to be the same thing, and we really, really tried. Our defense tried really hard to blow it, but we couldn't because McManus couldn't kick a 63-yarder. Dog, that would have been so fitting. Well, it is fitting either way because, of course, that's how we lost last week against the Jaguars. They got a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to take a 1-point lead. Then we got down there and went for a really long field goal and missed it. The Broncos did a similar thing. They went down the field to midfield pretty much, went for a long field goal and missed. So it's kind of fitting. We lose on that situation last week. We win on it this week. So it's kind of fitting how that all turned out. But glad we got the win. But hopefully the injuries turn out well. Or I should say, the results come out well. Tough task against Pittsburgh last week. Pittsburgh is playing better right now. Kenny Pickett is playing pretty well. So there's a lot of things that we need to clean up. Offensively, we need to get healthy. Hopefully, again, Lamar Jackson's okay. Want to get the run game going more. Hopefully, J.K. Dobbins is back next week. There's optimism that he will be. Same goes for Marcus Williams. And we'll just have to see what happens. So, guys, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I am out. Have a great night. Thank you so much for watching. Go Ravens, man. Remember, a win is a win. 8-4 is much different than 7-5. And I'll see you all next weekend.